Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Harv. Let's continue our lecture into chapter 1. This is the last part of chapter 1, the last lecture for chapter 1. We are going to talk about the breakdown, the decline of the Catholic Church, the late medieval Catholic Church. Now, really important for us to understand, in the medieval period, in the Middle Ages, Europe was European way of life revolved around the church, revolved around religion. People woke up in the morning and prayed. The church, when the church bells would ring, that would kind of signify different parts of the day. Life revolved around the church, revolved around religion. People were not focused on the present. They were focused on the afterlife, getting into heaven. And we're going to talk all about Catholicism, what Catholicism is, the beliefs, the doctrines, and we're going to go through when we start to see Protestantism, some of the different Protestant beliefs. Okay, but it's really important to understand is that we are going to see the Catholic Church, ladies and gentlemen, during this time start to break down and decline. Okay, now the late medieval church, ladies and gentlemen, this Catholic Church. Was very much not just a religious institution, but a cultural institution, social institution, economic institution. It was heavily involved in the finances of Europe, okay? But also a political institution. The Pope, the office of the papacy. When I say papacy, I'm talking about the Pope. I'm talking about the Catholic Church, okay? Papacy, the Pope, Catholic Church, okay? The Pope, the Catholic Church, were heavily involved in the politics of Europe. Europeans were Catholic. The Catholic Church had a lot of influence over people, therefore, and a lot of people, many people were Catholic, therefore, they had a lot of believers and a lot of political power because they had so much sway over the public, okay? Now, the Pope, the papacy under this Pope, Pope Innocent III, and I'm going to tell you some of the different popes you need to know, okay? Under Pope Innocent III, he strengthened the church politically, but really weakened it spiritually, okay? And that's going to undermine a lot of the support that the church had. This is important because when the people of Europe, okay, during this late medieval, Middle Ages time, they don't care about the politics, the economics of the church. They care about their faith. They care about their religious beliefs. And we're going to see the church under Pope Innocent III really not be focused on its spiritual aspects, its religious aspects, and be more politically involved. And people are going to be like, dude, what? Like, y'all are getting involved in politics, economic. What about us and our prayers and us and our salvation and going to heaven? That's important to us. And so we're going to see a lot of people start to get a little upset with the church and be like, y'all need to get focused on, the religious aspect of Christianity as opposed to getting involved in all these different political affairs and whatnot, okay? People are going to be really upset with that, okay? And Innocent and some of his successors, some of the other popes, okay, are going to centralize legal proceedings, aka churches making, the church making law. Okay, that's not religious, that's political. Okay, taxation, that's political and economic. And the papal powers of appointment, aka the Pope being able to appoint bishops and clergy members in different countries. That's not. These are all political and economic powers. And this is going to be a major focus of the papacy, and this is going to start to lead to their decline. They're going to get so involved in politics, they're going to lose the very fundamentalism of Christianity and the Catholic Church, which is religion, which is Christianity. Okay, and a lot of Christians are going to be upset with that, coupled with the Black Death that's going to be going on, and that they're looking to the Catholic Church to help save them, to help them, and the Catholic Church can't do anything, and the Catholic Church is being so focused on politics and not focused on religion and spirituality and helping the people. This is going to be a big problem. Okay. Now, this is huge. And we need to know these two people, Boniface versus Philip. Okay? And it's important, hopefully, we're going to do this when we meet in our Google Meets, ladies and gentlemen, but it's really important, ladies and gentlemen, that we're understanding our Roman numerals, right? This is Boniface the 8th, okay, versus Philip the Fair, okay? We are going to see a major confrontation during this time. Remember, I was talking about the decline of feudalism, okay, and the rise of powerful monarchs. Well, we're going to start to see some powerful monarchs rise and fight the Catholic Church for power, and the Catholic Church is going to lose, okay? Spoiler alert. All right. So we're going to start to see a little power struggle in Europe, okay, between the papacy, the Catholic Church, and some of these monarchs, okay? And the monarchs are going to win. Okay, now what goes down between Boniface and Philip, okay? Well, the French and English kings are going to start raising taxes on clergy members, English clergy, and then when I mean clergy, religious figures, priests, okay, bishops in England, religious people part of the Catholic Church who are in England. Okay? And Boniface is going to be like, yo, England, France, these English kings and queens, yo, you cannot raise taxes without my consent. You need my permission. I'm the Pope. The clergy members work for me. You need my permission to raise taxes on them. And Philip's going to go, what? Dude, they are in my country. They are in my country, and in my country, I make the rules, I make the laws, I can tax them. And Boniface is like, no, you can't. And Philip's like, yes, I can. And they're going to be jockeying over this power. They're going to be like, yes, no. All right, you can't do that. Yes, I can. All right, and Philip is simply going to be like, all right, well, I won't pay any more taxes to the Catholic Church in Rome. And Boniface is going to be like, all right, you can tax them. Okay, you can do it. You can tax them. Whatever. I'm over it. Whatever. All right? You can all kind of see where this is going. Okay? Boniface is going to issue this kind of edict. All right? This proclamation called Unam Sanctum. Unam Sanctum. Okay? And he is going to assert, okay, that spiritual power, aka the power of the Pope, is more important than temporal power, aka the power of the king. He's going to assert the subordination of temporal power with spiritual power, aka that spiritual power is more powerful, more meaningful than temporal power. So the power of the Pope has more power than the power of the king. Okay? Philip is going to be like, what? What did you say? Yo, I got an army. Army, go handle Boniface. And Philip is going to catch Boniface outside, on some travels, and the French army is going to beat up Boniface and beat him up. And Philip's going to be like, who has the power now? Who's got more power? This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this is huge. Boniface is going to later die, and he's going to be completely this is going to change his whole life. Okay, this is going to shock Europe. This is going to shock the Catholic Church, shock leaders all over, nobles, that a king went after the Pope and beat him up. And remember, this is important. We are starting to see the rise of professional armies. Philip the Fair could do this because he had his own army. He's got power. Okay, he has power, and he's going to assert his power over Boniface. Okay, and Boniface is going to die. He's going to be physically and mentally shattered from this incident. Okay, this is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is big. Never again will we see popes threaten European rulers, and we are going to start to see the rise of secular power over papal power. A pope won't ever step again to a king. Okay, and Philip really set a precedent there. Don't step to us. We have our own army. Don't mess with us. Don't step to us. We have power. Super important, ladies and gentlemen. We won't see a pope threaten a European ruler again. Okay, and there is Boniface. All right, this is a game changer. Okay, this was a game changer. Okay, and this was a papal ring, ladies and gentlemen. This just showed you how the Catholic Church really is going to get political, get really involved in money, have this extravagant lifestyle. And this, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see that this is going to be taken, this kind of loss of power for the Catholic Church, or this this backlash against the Catholic Church. We're going to see it go to another level in October 31st, 1517 with Martin Luther when he nails his 95 Theses, and we see the Protestant Reformation start. Okay, so this is we're seeing some big changes for the church, a big decline for the church. Okay, now another incident within or another kind of event within this overall decline of the church. We talked about Boniface, okay, is the Avignon papacy. Avignon is in France. It's in French territory, okay, and we are going to see the church move the papal court to this area near France. It's in this French territory, okay? This is important, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The Pope is going to move from Rome, Italy, to France, all right? How do you think this looks to the everyday average peasant? This is going to look really shady because, well, what king just beat up a pope recently? Philip, okay? This is looking a lot like French nobility, French influence in the papacy, in the Catholic Church. And this just looks more, this is really making more and more Europeans, more and more peasants, really just like over the Catholic Church. They're just like, oh, there's so much corruption. They're not focused on religion. There's all this greed, and now they're under the influence of the French king, of the French court. What is going on? Okay, this is really going to lead more and more people in Europe to be like, man, they don't care about us. Do they care about us? Okay, many people are going to start questioning the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church is going to be losing support. Okay, in order to get more revenue, we're going to see the court start. The papacy start taxing, but also selling indulgences. Please make sure you highlight that term, indulgences. And we're going to talk about what an indulgence is. Okay? An indulgence is where you can buy your salvation. You can buy your way out of purgatory, which is kind of this in between heaven and hell. Martin Luther, okay, is going to have a major, major, major problem with the sale of indulgences. Okay? This is going to be big. All right? Pope John, let's work on our Roman numerals. What is that? Pope John the 22nd. He's going to be the most powerful Avignon Pope. But we're going to see, the big idea here is we are seeing some French influence in the Catholic Church, and we're going to see the Catholic Church lose some populace for people because people feel like, well, now they're just really puppets of the French monarchy. Okay, so involved in politics. Do they care about us? Some of the things that are going to be going through some of these Europeans' minds. Okay, we're going to see some different opposition to the Avignon papacy. We're going to see some monarchs take action with laws to protect themselves from church taxes, church appointments. What we're seeing here is the monarchies using this situation, using what's going on with the Catholic Church to take more power for themselves when it comes to creating laws, taxes, and appointing who is in the religious court of a country, right? Typically, it was the Pope had that power to be like, the Bishop of England is so-and-so. Now the English, or the French king, queen is saying, no, I'm going to choose who the Bishop of England is. I'm going to choose who these priests are. Okay, we're seeing a change. Okay, really important. Wycliffe and Huss. I want to talk about them because they are setting precedent for our Protestant Reformation. All right, we have Wycliffe, we have Huss. These Lollards, all right, were the followers of John Wycliffe. Okay, he was in England. They were English. Okay, and he is going to challenge, okay, the rights of a king against popes. He's going to challenge these indulgences. He's going to challenge this idea of papal infallibility. Papal infallibility is the idea that a pope can never be wrong when it comes to issues of religion. All right, so literally when it comes to religion, a pope is never wrong. And John Wycliffe is going to be like, what? Popes can't ever be wrong? All right, he's going to challenge that notion. And trust me, this is influential to Martin Luther, okay, the Protestant Reformation, where we start to see Protestants, okay, who are not Catholic, who believe in different types of Christianity. All right, and this is anticipating that. Wycliffe is also going to challenge this idea of transubstantiation. Okay, this is a predominantly Catholic belief, and this is the belief, okay, that during the Eucharist, during one of the sacraments, okay, that the bread and wine, okay, transforms into the blood and flesh of Christ. There's transformation. So when you eat that bread, okay, during the Eucharist, okay, a sacrament in Christianity, when you eat the bread, transubstantiation is the belief that when you eat that bread, there's a transformation of that bread into the flesh of Christ, okay, of Jesus. All right, and when you drink the wine, it is a transformation into his blood. So that's what they believe. They believe in transubstantiation, that during the Eucharist, when you eat the bread and when you drink the wine, there's a transformation, and that bread transforms into the flesh of Christ, and the wine transubstantiation transforms into the blood. We need to know that. That's going to be important because Martin Luther is going to have totally different ideas. Okay? All right, totally different ideas. All right? Wycliffe is also going to challenge the idea of merit within the Catholic Church, that people shouldn't be, that people should, gain higher recognition, a hierarchy in the church based on their merit, not necessarily like who they are or if they have like status or money. And morality, having popes follow their own, having clergy members follow some of their own creed, following some of their own ideals. All right. The Hussites, this is in the Germanic area, the HRE. We don't have a Germany yet. We're going to get into that. All right, the Hussites, they were followers of John Huss. They're in Prague, very similar to the Lollards. Prague is in current day Czech Republic, Czech lands, okay, kind of Germanic lands. We'll get into that, what that's all about, okay? But John Huss supported vernacular translations of the Bible, okay? He was also critical of traditional ceremonies like the Eucharist, and Huss is going to be executed. I want to talk quickly about the Bible really quick. What's really important. The importance of the vernacular, okay? During this time, what is the main language of the Catholic Church? It is Latin, okay? There was no version of the Bible and not a lot of versions of written works during this time, and we'll talk about the importance of the vernacular, okay? But people could not understand ceremonies. People could not understand the Bible because it was written in a language that they did not truly understand, which was Latin, okay? Huss wanted the Bible to be printed in the vernacular, the languages that people spoke and understood. And Latin has some derivatives, the Romantic languages that we have today. Derivatives of Latin are French, English, Portuguese, Spanish, German, okay? Those are all languages derived from Latin. For example, if you want to say hello in English, hola in Spanish, hello in German, okay? Gracias, thank you in Spanish, grazie, Italian. I forgot to mention Italian is also vernacular, okay? Those are all languages, those are vernacular languages spoken by different groups of Europeans, all derived from Latin, okay? And what John Huss wanted was he wanted the Bible to be printed in these vernacular languages that people understood and spoke, okay? And so that's something that he wanted. That's gonna be really important, and that's gonna be really important to Martin Luther, okay? And we'll get into that, okay? Because and let me talk about that just 1 second, okay? That's gonna be really important because Martin Luther is going to learn to read the Bible, and he's gonna notice that there's no pope mentioned in the Bible. Okay, and he's going to want people to read that for themselves and be like, hey, this pope who's telling, you about religion, you Europeans, telling you about religion and everything, he's not even in the Bible, so why should we believe him? Okay, and people are going to start reading the Bible for the first time going, what? All this stuff that the priest has told me, what? And they're going to start to see some discrepancies, okay, and there's going to start to be some different interpretations of Christianity. Really interesting. That's going to go down. Huss, okay, Wycliffe are going to be super influential to our Protestant Reformation, okay? And they're going to be big-time critics of the Catholic Church. Okay? Let's move on, all right? We also have the Great Schism, all right? This is going to be a really embarrassing event for the Catholic Church, okay? We're going to see Pope Gregory. Let's practice that Roman numeral. What is that? the 11th, move the church back from Avignon to Rome, but he's going to die. Okay? And there's going to be a new pope. His name is Urban. Let's try that Roman numeral. What is that? The 6th. Good. He's going to be elected. Now, the French cardinals, who have had a lot of power, okay, a lot of influence, are going to not be stoked with that because Urban is Italian. And so they're going to elect their own pope, this guy, Clement the 7th. And so now there's 2 popes. And you have Europeans all over going, what? I thought there was just 1 pope. No, there's 2. Okay? And we're going to start to see, and you can see, ladies and gentlemen, how political this is. And how, starting with Pope Innocent, how the church has gotten more political. Now it's just wrapped up in the politics of Europe, and the people, remember, the Black Death is going on. People are worried about whether they're going to go to heaven. They're worried about dying. People are suffering, and they're seeing there's the infighting, just the strife of the papacy, and they're like, what is going on? People are losing faith. Okay, people are losing faith in the Catholic Church, and this is really going to set the Protestant Reformation. It's going to be really an important factor for the Renaissance and the Reformation. Okay, England is going to obviously support the Italian Pope, not the French Pope. Remember, England and France are not getting along. Okay, and France is going to obviously support Clement. And there's this idea, this conciliar theory that's going to come out. It's a vocab word. Okay, the idea that there should be someone to regulate the Pope. Then that's starting to come about because the papacy is just really losing control. Catholic Church is really just kind of losing control of itself. Okay, there's a council that's going to be convened that's going to get rid of the Roman Pope, okay, Urban, and the Avignon Pope. None of them step down, and there's going to be 3 popes because the council is going to elect Alexander V to be Pope, assuming that Urban and Clement would resign. But they didn't resign, and now there's 3 popes. And now the people of Europe are like, what? I thought there was 2. Now there's 3? What? What is going on? This is crazy. Okay? They're losing their minds. Eventually, we're going to see a Council of Constance convened, and they're going to elect Martin V, okay? And we're going to see this whole issue calm down. They're going to get rid of Alex, Clement, and Urban, and Martin V will be the Pope. But the damage is done, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The church has been embarrassed with Boniface, Avignon, with this great schism, the Black Death. There has been a huge loss of power, and we are in with the Lollards, with the Hussites, and we are on our way to the Reformation, which is going to be really important, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The Council of Basel, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the height of this conciliar government. Okay. It's going to negotiate with the Hussites. But what's important about this great schism, what's important about the conciliar movement, okay, is we're going to see greater religious responsibility to people who are not necessarily associated with the church. And we're going to see greater religious responsibility to some of our secular governments. We're going to start to see some of the monarchies taking more power over religious institutions, laws. Some of those kings and queens we've been talking about are going to gain more and more power. These secular governments, these monarchies who are not associated with the clergy, are going to start taking religious power away from the papacy, away from the Catholic Church, and are going to start to govern themselves more religiously, as opposed to having the Catholic Church dominate them over matters of religion. Okay, and we're going to start to see kings assert power over churches in their lands. They're going to start asserting power over church taxes, papal appointments, law. Okay, so really important. The church is losing power. Big theme here. Okay, and that's it for right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to start chapter 2, the Renaissance. Woo!